Hey, folks, welcome to Common Sense with Curtis Scott, and I'm here today with Lindy Beaty for Ellis County and District Attorney. Lindy, if you could go ahead and just introduce yourself, who you are, your history, everything about you, and why you're running for the office, stuff like that. If you could go ahead
Okay,
and start off there for
sure.
us.
So, hi everyone. My name is Lindy Beaty. I'm originally from San Antonio. That's home. I went to high school there. I graduated from college at St. Mary's University there. Then I went on to law school at the University of Houston. I graduated there. And when I came back, I started my prosecution career at the Ellis County Attorney's Office. And Atascosa County is a tiny county south of San Antonio. So there I did misdemeanor prosecution, juvenile prosecution, and a little bit of commissioner's court, giving them advice, things like that. I stayed there for about 3.5 years, and I was making a whopping $29,000 doing that. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it and would have never left but for the pay. I had a lot of student loans that needed to be paid. And so I needed to make a little bit more money. So I told my boss that I was going to be leaving and looking for something else. He completely understood. In fact, he wrote me a letter of recommendation to take with me. I saw an opening at the Ellis County and District Attorney's Office for a juvenile prosecutor. So I came here in 2004, moved to Waxahachie, and became the juvenile prosecutor. So I did that for about 10 months. And then I moved up to be a felony prosecutor. From there, I handled lower level felonies like state jails and some third degrees. And then after about maybe 6 months of that, I became the child sex crime prosecutor. So I did that for about 4 years, from about 2006 to about 2010. That's all I did. And had many, many trials doing those cases, because those are the cases that do go to trial. Was pretty successful in those cases, got many life sentences on child predators. After that, I went back to do general felonies, and everybody kind of had to do everything at that point because we were getting a little bit too big, and there were too many cases coming in for just one person to handle. So we kind of did general casework. So I would have anything from murders to drug cases, child sex crimes still, DWIs, things like that. Did that until 2014. Then I became the chief misdemeanor prosecutor. Did that for about 1.5 years, maybe 2 years. Then I came back as the chief felony prosecutor. And then when the court split, when we had Judge Ermatinger and Judge Carroll, I became the chief felony prosecutor in Judge Carroll's court until I left in 2019. I left with my now law partner, Ricky Sipes, who is the chief felony prosecutor in the 443rd District Court in Ermatinger's court. So we left together. We opened up our own law firm. We do criminal defense now. That's pretty much all that I do. And so we've been doing that since December of 2019. So I've got a lot of experience in prosecution. In fact, a little over 18.5 years just doing criminal prosecution kind of at every level. I left in 2019 because people ask me like, well, why'd you leave? I absolutely loved prosecution. I have a passion for it. But at the same time, both me and my law partner, we had kids who were the same age, at that time, about 9 years old. And, the job at the DA's office is very demanding. It's a lot of nights. It's a lot of weekends working for trial preparation, things like that. We were missing out on some family time. And that's time we're never going to get back with our kids. So we made the decision to go ahead and make the switch in 2019. And we're doing probably as much work or working harder than we were before. It's just we have flexibility of time. I can leave early on a Friday or go on a school field trip if I want to, and I'll just make up the time on a weekend or stay late or come early. It's sort of flexibility of time has been really nice. So we've enjoyed that. I wasn't sure I would enjoy doing criminal defense work, to be honest. I had done prosecution for so long, I wasn't sure that I would be good at it, honestly, and that I would enjoy it. However, I have really enjoyed having the different perspective of handling cases on the other side. You just see things a little bit differently, right? What I tell people a lot of the times is that when I was a prosecutor, I really only could see defendants as files because I had like 400 of them, right? I didn't have time to really learn about why they were in the criminal justice system to begin with. How did they get here? You know, what brought them to make the decisions they were making? And so now on the defense side, you get a little bit more into the background and lives of people as to why they're there. You know, generally, I think people fall into two categories that are in the criminal justice system. One, it's good people making stupid decisions. And that's a lot of it. I think it's a lot of the majority of people are there. And then the second group is you have just inherently, I believe, bad people doing bad things, you know, without care about consequences or other people or property. Those are not as many, but when you get those people, it's really bad, you know. But I have enjoyed doing that. You know, we make sure we stand up for people's constitutional rights, which is very important. So you do get that other perspective there to see. And sometimes things are done wrong. You know, I don't believe it's intentional necessarily, but stuff happens. And so that experience has been really great for us. And I do value that experience.
Okay. So I'm hearing from you, you got 18 and a half around here in this area. Did you said a little bit prior to that though also?
So I had 15 of it here and then 3.5 at the other county.
Okay. I was
Yeah.
trying to do the math here. I'm
Mhm.
not a mathematician, as you can tell. So you got quite a bit of experience, and then you, like you just said, you have some experience now seeing the other side. So you kind of, you think that'll help you?
Yeah, for sure. Because I think, you know, the constitutional duty of the DA or the prosecuting attorney is to seek justice. I mean, that is enumerated in the Texas Constitution. That is our legal duty, is to seek justice, right? And so it doesn't say justice for who. It doesn't say justice just for victims, just for defendants. It just says justice. And so that has to take into account everything, right? If you're not being fair about the prosecution, if you're not making sure people's constitutional rights aren't being violated, then you're not doing a good job and you're not doing justice. So there's an inherent duty on the DA to be above board all the time. I say on the defense side, we don't necessarily have that because our job description is different. You know, the job description on the defense is to zealously represent our clients. So it's vastly different. So I think it's important to have that perspective to be able to make sure that you are actually seeking the truth and doing the right things for the right reasons all the time.
I mean, okay.